The Honest Woodcutter. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by towering green forests, there lived a poor woodcutter named Ravi. Every day, he woke up before sunrise, picked up his old, worn-out axe, and walked deep into the woods to cut firewood. The job was hard. The pay was small, but Ravi was a man of honesty, and he believed good things came to those who did the right thing. Ravi lived in a tiny hut with his wife and young son, Arjun. They didn't have much, but they shared what they had with gratitude. What made Ravi truly proud was not the little money he earned, it was his reputation. Everyone in the village trusted him because he spoke the truth, even if it cost him loss. The day everything changed. One morning, dark clouds gathered over the forest and drizzle fell through the trees. Ravi continued working despite the rain, chopping wood near a deep river. The water ran fast, making a soothing sound as it flowed over the rocks. But as he swung his axe down, his hand slipped and his only axe flew out of his grip and fell straight into the rushing river. Ravi gasped. He ran to the riverbank and looked down. The water was too deep and the current too strong. "My axe," he cried helplessly. "How will I work now? How will I feed my family?" The rain grew heavier. Tired, wet, and heartbroken, Ravi sat down on a rock and buried his face in his hands. The appearance of a mysterious being. Just then, the river suddenly glowed with a soft golden light. The water swirled, and from the center rose a graceful figure, a river goddess dressed in shimmering silver robes. Her hair flowed like water, and her eyes glowed kindly. Ravi jumped back in shock. "Do not be afraid," the goddess said in a gentle voice. "I saw your sorrow. Tell me, what troubles you?" Ravi bowed respectfully. "My axe slipped and fell into the river. It was the only tool I had to earn my living." The goddess smiled and nodded. With a wave of her hand, she disappeared into the water. When she returned, she held a shining axe made entirely of pure gold. She raised it towards Ravi. "Is this your axe?" Ravi shook his head immediately. "No, goddess, that is not mine. I am a poor woodcutter. I cannot own such a valuable axe." The goddess nodded again, pleased with his honesty. She went back into the water and returned with another axe, this one made of silver. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Ravi hesitated for a moment. After all, the axe was beautiful and worth far more than anything he had ever owned. But he knew it wasn't his. "No, goddess," he said softly, "even this one is not mine." The goddess smiled once more. She disappeared and came back holding an old, rusty iron axe, Ravi's real one. "Is this your axe?" Ravi's eyes filled with relief. Yes, that is my axe. Thank you." Reward for honesty. The goddess looked deeply into his eyes. "You are a truthful man, Ravi. Most people would have lied for gold or silver, but you chose honesty, even in difficulty." She extended her hands and said, "As a reward for your honesty, you may keep all 3 axes, gold, silver, and your own." Ravi was shocked. "But, goddess, I do not deserve such wealth." "You do," she interrupted, "because true honesty is rare, and those who choose it deserve blessings." With a warm smile, she gently vanished back into the river, leaving the water calm once again. The village reacts. Ravi returned to the village carrying all 3 axes. People gathered around him, amazed at the shining tools. When they heard his story, some felt inspired, but others became greedy. The next day, a few villagers went to the river and deliberately threw their axes into the water, hoping the goddess would reward them too. The goddess appeared as she had for Ravi and held up a golden axe. One of the greedy villagers quickly shouted, "Yes, that is mine." The goddess frowned. Her voice thundered with disappointment. "This axe is not yours, and your greed has led you to lie." She vanished instantly, taking their real axes with her. The greedy villagers returned home empty-handed, ashamed and angry, but wiser than before. The true value of honesty. Ravi used his new wealth not for selfish things, but to help others. He repaired houses, bought food for the needy, and made sure his son received good education. Yet he remained humble, carrying his old axe as a reminder of the day honesty changed his fate. He became known far and wide, not as a rich woodcutter, but as an honest man whose truthfulness brought him unexpected blessings. And whenever someone asked him the secret to his fortune, he simply smiled and said, "Honesty may not make life easier, but it makes life brighter." Moral of the story: honesty is the best policy. Truthfulness may not give instant rewards, but it brings long-lasting blessings and respect.